He can barely think, but boy, does he stink. Former Secretary of State and current human tree hybrid, John Kerry, is the subject of tonight's investigation. You remember John? He started his career on Easter Island.
Damn.
Old John was speaking at a recent climate conference in Dubai, where he apparently farted during his talk. How ironic, a rabid environmentalist who can't control his own carbon fart print. At first, attendees assumed it was merely a sound glitch, but became suspicious when the plants in the room suddenly wilted. But let us not pass judgment until it's proven he passed gas. I present Exhibit A for ass.
I find myself getting more and more militant because I do not understand how adults who are in position of responsibility can be avoiding responsibility for taking away those things that are killing people on a daily basis. And the reality is that
now I know why he flies private. Passengers and coach would keep trying to open the emergency exit. He should have at least had the courtesy to ask someone to pull his finger. Now, the woman sitting next to him is CNN's Becky Anderson. You wouldn't recognize her because nobody watches. But watch her expression again and tell me that's not the face you make when you've been farted on by an 80-year-old man. Roll it.
avoiding responsibility for taking away those things that are killing people on a daily basis. And the reality is that
kudos to Anderson for keeping a straight face after Kerry put her on blast. Of course, Kerry farting loudly isn't surprising news. We're all used to him talking out of his ass, am I right? Kat, you've been following this story closely. You think it was a fart?
Yes.
Yes? What? Why do you think that's the case?
Because I want it to be.
Yes.
Right? I mean, this is the best day since Eric Swalwell farted.
Yes.
Because honestly, this is the other thing we can unite around besides, maybe common hatred. If we still have, people farting, regardless of our politics, we can realize that was funny.
Yes.
This is the only thing anyone has seen from what was this summit.
Yeah.
All they do is they do summits all day, every day, right?
Yeah.
Just a bunch of summits. But
yeah.
This is all we've seen from it. He should come out and do a press conference and admit it.
Yeah.
He would be so much more popular if he said, listen, I did fart. America. I swear to you, he'd be far more popular.
Yeah, it's true.
Because he's talking about, some weird, commie control stuff.
Yeah.
But the fact that he farted somehow humanizes all of that.
Greta's going to have to upstage him now. She's going to have explosive diarrhea. Tyrus, isn't the real story that it's not that he farted, it's that this doesn't happen more often?
No, and the real story, can we please run that tape back, please, for 1 second? Because Kerry didn't do it.
Oh, you think it's...
He did not do it.
You think it's...
Run it back. I will show you who did it. Not the... Run it. I will... Okay, blah, 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 whoa, whoa, whoa. I flew in a private jet in a meeting I could have done in Zoom. Blah, 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 blah. When it goes to the three of them, the guy with the glasses, look at him. Look at his body. He's like, oh.
Yeah.
It's the guy with the glasses.
Oh.
The old man with the glasses did it. Watch his body reaction. You can see the fart jerk on his back. You can see his back. Watch his back.
You think...
Let it go. Let it go. I wish I had the Madden thing.
You think maybe there
was the guy in the glasses on the grassy knoll. He did it. Look at his body. Like, oh. It was the guy in the glasses.
It's a second farter.
And Kerry and her didn't know what to do. They just kept going.
Yeah. Adam, what's say
Look, he looked down like, oh, man. It's the guy. Look. No one looks to the side and down like this.
I don't know. It's hard to say.
He did it.
He did have a fart face, Adam.
Did it.
Adam, where do you land on
I
this
think
one?
his ass is so tight, I'm surprised Cole didn't come out. But I could relate to this, actually, because one time I farted so loud I woke my wife up, and she wasn't even home.
Yeah.
So, if you would have said safety, that's usually, or if you would have, I don't know. There was a kid in my high school who used to cup his farts and put it in your face.
Yes.
Afterwards.
There was always that kid.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That kid grew up to be at the summit next to John Kerry.
Farts. Man, I could talk for days about farts. You know, Kaylee, you were in the White House press corps. Jim Acosta, probably a rampant farter.
Luckily, I was far enough away not to smell him.
Yeah, but wasn't there chatter about his farting? Wasn't that a big unspoken truth? It was Reddit. They had Reddit forums.
You're on Reddit?
No, I'm not on Reddit.
To echo Kat, I will say yes because I want it to be true.
Yes.
So I will echo her on that. At an all-girls Catholic school, we didn't do the cup thing, so that's new to me, I will say. But my problem with this, and first of all, I think it is him, Tyrus, because he looks down in shame. That is a look of shame downward when he does it. But my problem, I'm a big fan of cows. I wanted to be a cow when I grew up, when I was a little kid. They've been blaming the cows for far too long. First it was the cow burps are the problem, then the cow flatulence, and no. Stop blaming the cows and their farts. How much does he contribute to climate change with the amount that he's passing in gas? That is my question. Leave the cows
Especially if he
alone.
does it in his private jet.
Yes.
There you go, in his private jet.
We should be focusing on the carbon butt print and not the carbon footprint.
China has nothing on those CO2 emissions from Kerry.
Yeah.
A lot of chatter about that butt print, Gutfeld.
Yeah.
A lot of chatter.
Well, he did say he was a fan of wind power.
Touche.
Oh, thank you. A little applause for a terrible show. I love you. All right, up next, come for a snack and stay for the smack.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.